I just want to talk here a bit about resizing images before you upload them to your website. I have here a folder of images that I've gotten from NASA, and a lot of them are quite large, similar to what you would get from a high quality DSL camera. So these photos, as you can see here, 4,928 pixels is quite substantial. At print resolution, that's over 16 inches. So I'm going to open this with a free program for both the Mac and PC. There is also a paid version, but it's called Photoscape X. And for some reason today it wants to open into full screen mode. I'm just going to hit escape to exit that. Across the top I'm going to go into the editor, and the folder I want is gallery, and I'm going to open the image just by clicking on it. Now down here at the bottom it is telling me that this is 4,928 by 3,280 pixels. That is huge in web terms. So to resize it, I'm going to click on resize, and I'm going to take this down to something substantially smaller. You can either select a number here or type one in. I'm going to take it down to 1,000 pixels. If you want to keep your image proportional, you want to make sure that this preserve aspect ratio is checked off, and then it will calculate the sizes for you. And once you're done, hit apply. Now that that's resized, as a general rule on the web, even 1,000 pixels is quite large. There's some of your Retina displays now that can handle pixel sizes larger than this, but even at 1,000 pixels, we're still talking about an image that is 13 inches across in web standards. But 1,000 pixels should get it down to a size that works for the web. All right, now that we have our image resized, we need to save it. In Photoscape, click on this down here. And we need to talk about JPEG quality. You want to make sure that your file size is getting under 2 megabytes to upload onto these sites. This is currently at 512 kilobytes, so that is plenty small enough. If you have a lot of members that are in rural areas trying to view your site, you want to make sure you try and get these pictures as small as you can, because they do take time to download. We can adjust the quality of our JPEG by sliding a little slider here. Generally, we're not going to want to get much lower than 50, 70, 60, 70. You'll see how much it drops the file size here. In Photoscape, to save, you're best not to use this top one. This will save your image over top of the existing one. So here I'm going to change this Save to my resized folder. And then I'm going to hit Save As and just give it a different name. Okay, I'm just going to bring over a separate file here to show you what the differences are in image quality saving. This is a composite of 3 different JPEGs saved at different quality levels. This over here on the left-hand side is the original image. This was saved at about 50%, and this was saved at about 10%, and you can sort of see at 50%, you're starting to get all these interesting little squares. We call this artifacting, where at 10%, it is really quite drastic what the quality reduction has done to the JPEG. All right, one of the other nice things you can do in Photoscape is you can batch process images. So if you have a whole bunch of images you need to resize, you can use this to do it a little more quickly. I'm just going to drag the horizontal sized images that I have that need to be resized to upload to the web in here. I want mainly my horizontal images at this point. I'm going to click on this first one, and under resize, I'm going to set the size to 1000 pixels. And then I'm going to go through and look at all my other images, and you can see down here it has adjusted them all for me. Alright, so then I'm going to save these out, and it will save them all out at once. I'm going to save to, and instead of one of these other options, but you could create a subfolder at the same time. I'm going to set my JPEG quality to about 60 and give it a suffix of -web. Then I'm just going to say OK. It's going to go through and save all of the images for me at once. I'm just going to go through and take all of those images out, and then I'm going to grab my horizontal ones. Some of these are more square. And instead of changing the width on these ones, I'm going to change the height and hit save again. It has held on to my previous settings, so all I have to do is say OK. And that makes the whole job much quicker.